Hey, true believers, I'm Stan Lee, and I want to tell you about the most fantastic sweepstakes ever. How would you like to work with me for a day as editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics? Just enter the Kmart and Marvel Comics Watch and Win sweepstakes this May and June. Get your Watch and Win scratch-off game card at participating Kmart restaurants and win one of 18 million discounts on Kmart food and drink, plus 2,500 other prizes. Just watch the Marvel Action Hour and answer my questions. Details at participating Kmart restaurants.
True believers, and welcome to this episode of BrainWatching. I am your host, Nintles, and today we have J-Chippers.
Hello.
We also have, say, Overseer.
Sure wish I was playing Spyro right now.
Today we also have Wildcard.
Meow.
And filling in for Cubicle Wings, we have MB Tittygram.
Hi, I'm inconsequential.
And we're only having her for like a few minutes. So.
Whee!
Anyways, so today we're gonna start this episode with a tribute to a legend in media that recently has passed away. Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel Comics. Is he the creator of Marvel Comics?
No. He's
No,
like,
he is the creator of a lot of the most popular characters, like Spider-Man and the X-Men. Did he make the X-Men?
I think he had a big contribution to it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him in an X-Men movie, so.
I think he was in one.
That's how I base, what he was a part of. Was he in it?
Yeah. But yeah, Stan Lee has passed away at the age of 95. That is a lot.
That's insane. Like,
I have to admire how active he was
lived,
at his age.
He lived for a very long time, so
yeah, that is a full life.
You're about to say 95 years. I'm like, yeah, that's what that means.
Oh god.
But
he was like one of the oldest celebrities.
Yeah. But you have to admire how active he was, just even if in those little cameos.
Yeah, even at 95, he still looked and acted way younger.
Yeah, he was still sharp as sharp as a knife.
And speaking of those cameos, it's reported that Avengers 4 is his last cameo. Like, that's his last cameo.
Well,
so,
that really does seem like it's truly the end of an era.
Yeah, it was already filmed. His cameo was already filmed and everything.
For the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
For Avengers 4.
Even with his recent cameo, he did a cameo in the Teen Titans Go movie that is theatrical.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sounded really ill with his voice recording on that.
Well,
that should have been an indication that his time was coming, and it's so sad that
Yeah.
Though I will say something about that cameo. I will say something about that cameo in the Teen Titans movie. The joke that was going on with his cameo is he gets told that he's in a DC movie and he leaves, but then later in the movie he comes back and I think it's kind of fitting that his last cameo that he did to come out while he was alive, and his last line in the film was, I don't care if it's a DC movie, I just love making cameos.
Yeah.
And I like that I think that's pretty fitting.
Yeah. Did you know he also was in an anime, an actual Japanese anime?
Yeah.
Called Hero Man?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of manga artists and anime, like animators,
Anime
have
itself,
been
yeah.
so influenced by him, have been inspired by him and his comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I know for a fact that he was one of the people that that was trying to bring Power Rangers to America back in the 70s. It actually led to a Japanese version of Spider-Man to be made in Japan. If you haven't seen that, basically Spider-Man gets a Megazord.
oh,
I'm not joking. He gets a Megazord.
That-
But like one of the
Oh,
Super
Lord.
Sentai series, for like after was
Sorry.
actually based around Captain America. It's called Battle Fever J, and that was technically Stan Lee's baby right there. One of Stan Lee's babies.
I'm sorry, I thought you were gonna say Spider-Man got adapted in Japan, and I thought you were gonna say Attack on Titan or something like that.
oh God.
Oh my god.
It might as well be.
I want to also. Here's an interesting fact. The creation of Spider-Man wasn't technically. It was not really technically Stan Lee's. It was If you haven't heard about this, the costume of Spider-Man actually predated the actual Spider-Man comic. And
I know he didn't actually write Deadpool either, but he still cameoed in that one.
Yeah. But the costume was actually designed by Jack Kirby, and he actually made the costume for it for like some like costume company in America or something. But that ended up being the final concept for Spider-Man when that got adapted into a comic. I think that's just a really interesting piece of trivia right there for you.
Well, since you mentioned Spider-Man, I just remembered, like, you said that it's been confirmed that his cameo in Infinity War was filmed, right? Do we know if he's... What?
The second one, yeah.
Yeah. Do we know if he's if he ever recorded a cameo for Into the Spider-Verse? Because that comes out in like a month.
Oh God. Fuck.
Not sure if he did.
I'm not sure.
Did he have a cameo in Venom?
Wild card? Oh no, wait, that was Cubicle. We saw it.
Yeah, that was Cubicle who ranted about it.
This is not the first time I've gotten you two mixed up. I'm very sorry.
I know.
Oh, God. One's Canadian. That's all you need to know.
And one's awesome.
But I think before Teddy has to go, that we talk about what heroes we got into growing up that he created or had a part in, like, creating or funding or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so Teddy, do you want to go first? Like,
Hi.
like, who is your favorite hero? Like, growing up. Like Marvel hero.
Iron Man. That one's easy.
Yeah. Is there like a reason for it?
Yes, because I don't know. I just like the humor and the personality.
Right. Like Tony Stark is pretty a pretty good alter ego, I guess. But like, I don't know. Like for me, it's either Thor or Spider-Man. It's like those are my top two heroes growing up. Like Thor, which funny, he was just a mythological god that Stan Lee put into like hero form to like bring down to Earth, and I thought that
Yeah.
was like so interesting, like because that just takes from history and
I
puts
was
into like fantasy or real world.
I was gonna say, has anyone ever done that before? But then I remember there's religion around that, so
You can make a religion out of this.
Whoa.
I was like, wow, like that's the first time someone's ever really done that. Wait, no.
Oh god. Uh, but yeah, Spider-Man was also like my big thing growing up. Like
Oh yeah.
I had a bunch of Spider-Man merch as a kid.
Oh yeah, like when that movie came out, 2002, I was like 6 years old then. I was so excited for that film.
Yeah, the first three Spider-Man movies were my
Oh
shit.
yeah.
growing up.
You know my opinion on the first three Spider-Man films. They're fucking fantastic.
Like,
Top notch.
like those, apart from the Amazing Spider-Man movie,
Oh yeah.
just like one of my favorite sets of movies of all time, pretty much. Like because Spider-Man was my shit.
Oh yeah.
Like he was just a normal dude. You got just one by convenience of a spider.
Yeah.
uh and then that's like where the whole joke came about, like you can get your powers through like an animal biting you or like nuclear waste or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
that whole thing came from.
Hmm.
Like because it was so coincidental,
Yeah.
and then he just made all this technology with his because he was so fucking smart.
Yeah. Have you seen like the like 70s Spider-Man series?
Oh god.
You know the one that's like live
one that gets
action.
beamed?
Yeah,
Oh.
the live action one, like where he has like the goggle like spider eyes and this mask.
Oh,
They
God.
look
Let
so
me see if I can
bad.
find something here.
That's one of his costumes in the PS4 game, I
Oh,
think.
nice. But no, like when he
Oh my
gets
God.
when he gets spider bit, he like over dramatically like reacts to it. Like he just reaches to like a bookshelf, and then like the spider hits him, like ah!
Oh my gosh, I did not need that in my ear today. Ow.
Well, here, go to the chat and look. Get this in your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, that definitely solves everything, you know?
But like, yeah, that's actually one of the that's actually a costume in the Spider-Man game though on PS4.
Oh, nice.
I wasn't a big fan of it, but like, but it was just a nice little thing that they threw in there.
Well, a little interesting like tidbit about like one thing I really like about Stan Lee is that he tried, unlike DC, he tries to put physics into his comics. For example,
If only the movies would follow suit.
He had a problem with how Superman flew, because you know that like how Superman flies, he just like puts his like hands in the air and he just like propels. He says that there's no like proportion to his like flying.
He just pretty much floats.
Yeah, he basically floats.
Well, Superman in general is just a very shitty.
Yeah,
Like
Superman was like basically, what happens if I put this power and this power and this power and this power on this
it's what
one
happens if you
person?
give a 4-year-old, you know, the writing status. You know, he can fly and he has super strength and and has absolutely no sense of conflict whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, now I gotta go. Bye. I was so important.
No.
Basically,
Back.
like Superman, like
Bye, Teddy.
Goodbye.
Oh, bye. Well, basically, like Superman
Okay, we
said
have our ult.
basically Superman set up the concept of a superhero. Like, he was more of the experiment for superheroes in general. But what I love about Stan Lee is he described the physics of, for example, Thor flying.
Oh man.
For example, like with Thor, how he flies is that he swings his hammer in the air, and he has this like leather thong that is attached to his wrist. He throws the hammer, the thong is still on his wrist, and he goes flying.
He has his hammer. He has a leather thong attached to his wrist. He swings the hammer around faster and faster till it's going like a propeller, and then he lets go of it. Well, the hammer goes flying off into space, but the thong is wrapped around Thor's wrist, so he goes with it.
That's like a type of science that I really love that he thought about.
Yeah.
And also the web shooters of Spider-Man being able to like attach to buildings and stuff, and that's how he like swings.
Yeah.
Like, and
hey, Spider-Man is not the only one though. Check this out.
Yeah, and Peter Parker like made that like the wrist things. Like,
yeah,
like that's the thing. Like, he made Peter Parker a fucking nerd who could actually think all these things for his own hero status.
Yeah.
Like, to make himself a hero, he had to be like super smart to like think about like, how am I gonna do this? Like, Stan Lee made him that way. And that's why I like he's just not like a dude off the street that doesn't know anything that just became a hero.
Yeah. But I just love the practicality that he put into these
the what?
Practicality.
Practicality.
Fuck. Don't talk to me. I didn't have a coffee today. Well, I love like he put all these physics into the into his characters, so anyone could basically become a hero if like these powers actually existed in real life. And that's what I really like about what Stan Lee did, because he actually thinks these powers could be believable. Because like like the powers of like, for example, willing to talk to sea animals, or erasing memory with a single kiss. It doesn't seem very practical now, does it?
Well, I think what it is instead of elevating a human being to like a god status, like, you know, with some portrayals of these powers, he puts god status into the hands of a human being and lets him continue being a human being.
Like even with Thor, he kind of did that. Like, Thor
quite
was
literally
literally a demigod, and he's like, of course, there was some comedy that like he was too strong for a lot of things to do in normal life, but like he still acted and learned to be like a normal person.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like, and it's not like DC doesn't have heroes that don't have superpowers or have more logical superpowers too. I mean, Batman's like a big example. He doesn't really have powers.
I'm kind of glad you didn't go around asking everybody about their favorite superhero, because mine would have to be Batman. It's not even
well, I was gonna say like favorite Marvel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Marvel
but
hero.
Believe it or not, I'm actually not that big into the superhero.
Yeah, I agree.
Franchise.
I'm not that big into it either, but I acknowledge that he did great things.
But I know enough about it to know that Stan Lee is a Titan, and he's a badass.
God damn it.
Now I can't get a picture out of like just like giant Stan Lee coming over a wall.
Oh my god.
God damn it.
Did you know that he's actually was in an anime, and he actually created an anime?
I said that like 10 minutes ago.
Like already. God. Damn
No,
it.
no,
Wake
like ever heard the anime The Reflection?
The reflection.
If you've never heard that anime, first and foremost, it's pretty bad. But secondly, he actually co-created that anime with a director of fuck, I think it was Monster who directed the director of Monster who did that.
The one with the doctor and the
Yeah.
yeah, the crime one, yeah.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of the genre. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, like the series itself was like really slow, but I would say the
Sounds
only
like Monster.
yeah, the only highlight was this song called Sky Show. And it literally plays over and over. And one of the main characters, who's actually his superhero name is fucking I Guy. That's literally his super name, I Guy.
But you know,
his character is he has like he's a one-hit wonder artist whose only hit was Sky Show, and like all these like celebrities are like, oh yeah, he's the guy that did Sky Show. And not really. There's this one scene in the anime where it's like he's really drunk and he's singing Sky Show.
Bro.
Sky Show.
Okay, so where does Stan Lee come into this?
Stan Lee is actually a character in this anime, and he plays, I think it's a mayor or something.
That sounds very fitting.
Yeah.
Like,
basically, it's the ultimate cameo for Stan Lee. He's literally a self-insert in this. Did I mention that this takes place in America, and there's literal like American flags flying everywhere in New York City? We're talking the billboards are entirely the American flag. I'm
They're
not
gonna get any
fucking
product
joking.
But the oh my god, like the funniest tribute I saw of Stan Lee was The Onion, who made a post saying that Stan Lee, oh god, let me find it because I can't remember. I don't want to say it wrong. But I don't know. Like the whole thing, I mean, as old as he was, it's not really a shock, but it's still very sad.
Yeah.
Like you're happy that he had a full life, and like you know you're to be that active at 95. That's something we could all strive for. But
Yeah, we can all live to be 95.
yeah,
exactly.
but
I thought he was gonna live till like 100 though. To be honest.
Oh, I knew for a fact that he wasn't gonna live that long. I knew. But I was dreading the day when he would actually pass on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even still, even if it was kind of, even if a lot of people did see it coming, even if he did live a full life, just knowing that those Stan Lee cameos that we all love, we're not going to get those anymore. It's
and
kind of depressing.
Seeing Infinity War 2.
It also feels like it's the end of an era, because with how like Marvel's being run right now in terms of the comics, they're not really as good as when Stan Lee was under the helm.
Right.
So I feel as if it's kind of like it almost feels like all that's good about Marvel is not really going to be good any longer. And it's a sad reality that a lot of like legends go through. Like when someone dies, you don't know what to do with their property after they die. And I feel as if Marvel's gonna suffer from that.
Like all the the thing with that is with every company like that you have to get like new staff, like new younger
Yeah.
staff, to keep going.
Yeah, but then that new
Uh,
younger staff feels like they need to prove themselves, and they feel like they
Yeah.
need to
That's the thing. Like,
take it up to the next level, and they just get carried away, I think.
Yeah.
and they have to come in with like experience though, like, and like actual dedication. They can't just have all that on the job.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But I'm also in favor of creating new characters instead of actually
Milking the
taking
old ones.
instead of taking pre-existing characters and just making new iterations of them. Create new characters, create a new generation. There's nothing wrong with that.
right? Because like, the
Like I
thing- the thing
get
with-
that like some of the superheroes are way more popular than like something like a Squirrel Girl or something like that. But
Yeah.
you can create an iconic
But I mean,
character.
those ones were not popular right off the bat. It took time for them
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get to their popularity.
Exactly.
like
I'm glad you know seem to know a lot about comics, Nintles, because
Yeah, we would be lost without it.
yeah, because like I didn't I didn't read comics growing up. I don't read comics now.
Yeah.
I'm not into comics
I'm
basically at all. I
me neither.
like a lot of people. I like a lot of people know Stan Lee from his cameos in the Marvel movies. It's
Yeah.
what makes him stand out. And but I will say this. I just want to quickly say about Stan Lee, this like knowing like he was active on social media before he died. He went to conventions all the time. So
Yeah.
even outside of the movies, it was common you saw a lot of Stan Lee as the person and not just the writer behind your favorite characters.
Yeah.
And he like despite being one thing that I love Stan Lee for, even if I don't know much about his creations, one thing you have to love and admire about that man was that even though he became the single most popular comic book writer of all time, even after 95 years, it never went to his head.
Yeah.
mhm.
He stayed humble
Oh.
and sweet until the very end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he really did. Here it is. I finally found it. Stan Lee, creator of beloved Marvel character Stan Lee, died at 95.
Wow.
It's not wrong though. I mean, he became his own Marvel character in the Marvel
mean,
universe.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's funny, but it's also it's funny without being disrespectful, you know.
Yeah. I
And
know
speaking of disrespect, people, I just want to shoot some people after the news broke and people
Whoa.
started. Well, you know what I'm talking about. All these
Yeah.
social justice warriors who came out and was like,
Well,
"Oh, he was actually
Also,
this,
alt writers were actually attacking Stanley, saying they were celebrating
ones
his
that-
death.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like the ones who didn't have the balls to speak out against him when he was alive.
that's the thing. Like when
and
a
then he let
celebrity
it
there was
full
rape
pass.
accusations against
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, that's the thing.
When?
Like, when a celebrity dies,
He was
When a
being
celebrity-
victimized in Me Too. Like they actually
What?
he was actually like being
I did not
accused
hear
that he
that.
was cheating on his wife or something. I'm
At
not
his
sure.
age?
Yeah, but it was just like a very like controversial thing, and
I mean,
some people
with-
were
with-
defending him for that, and like
when that whole situation happened, I mean, accusations were being thrown left and right without
Yeah.
any substance.
like people are going
Like-
to like react negatively to somebody's passing on because how they thought of him as a person or something like that, and all I could say is that it's just fucking despicable, honestly.
It is.
yeah,
Like you didn't have the
that's
balls to say anything like that about them when they were alive.
Yeah, that
And-
happens with every celebrity death. Like
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
no one says anything until they actually fucking die because they
Mhm.
can't defend themselves.
Yeah.
Because
They
Yeah, it's
can't
just-
do anything.
It's also really sad because people don't really pay tribute to like somebody until they die, and it's really
Yeah.
unfortunate that like some people won't recognize greatness until they're gone, and I feel it's the same for Stan Lee, because he truly like changed how American like pop culture like is, because he also basically he created the fandoms and stuff,
Dude,
with comic books and
there's
stuff.
been a lot of anime and manga that have been inspired by his work.
Yeah.
Like this affects like that whole subgenre on its own. Like when he
Yeah.
died, so many anime sites and like producers or distributors or whatever made like articles uh, attributing him
Yeah.
and telling of his death, because like it affects so many people across the world
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it
because of
just
his influence.
what really got like the irony of it all is the whole these social justice warriors uh
Mm.
talking about respect when they don't even have respect for the dead
Yeah.
is like
But again, it's like it's a vocal minority that some of those were.
yeah.
Same for like people on
There's just-
Paul. Like they
Yeah, I
were
mean, these are just false
they were basically
assholes.
calling him a Jew, and they said he deserved to die, which is fucking
What?
despicable. Yeah, that's basically what Paul was saying about him. 4chan.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. I usually don't try to listen to those people, but
Naturally.
the very unfortunate thing, this also happens with many celebrities. More
Pretty much any
example,
celebrity.
yeah,
Someone will try to get attention, use their death to get attention, and make up shit.
or
What I love about that whole controversy, though, is that a bunch of people, threw up videos and stuff showing him saying things that completely shattered their accusation,
yeah,
and just showed what a sweet guy he was.
like
and
they
I
sit
just
there
love that.
saying he's racist, even though
Yeah.
he was actually very anti-racist. But no, like an example of people not being respected until they die. A big example, Michael Jackson, because
Oh, God.
you know that Michael Jackson was like a center of controversy until he died, and when he
And then
died,
suddenly it flipped over to. But the fact is, they marketed his death. The way and the fact that they marketed his death alone is despicable. But
yeah,
just the way they did it and the way they milked it for like literally an entire year, you couldn't see a headline without him.
yeah,
And it was just, like it drove me nuts at the time.
Like
yeah,
A lot of I have heard some people comparing Stan Lee's death to Michael Jackson because he was such an iconic figure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, if they drag out the headlines for an entire year, then yeah, they might have a point there. But
yeah,
that's gonna be a problem. Like with this is gonna go on for like a long time. Like people are not gonna stop talking about him for a long time.
oh yeah, it's
Mhm.
you're basically not going to be seeing anything like Marvel related without somebody mentioning Stan Lee.
yeah,
Like especially a movie, if they expect, oh, there's no cameo in this, oh, that was his last cameo,
Right.
until like they
Infinity-
actually confirm that it is his
Aw.
last cameo. If they say like in loving memory of Stan Lee, I don't think we
They
have
better
to.
do. They better.
I can
do that.
absolutely imagine that
I
being
can
somewhere in
guarantee
the
that will happen.
credits.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
has to
It
happen.
has to. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
with
I
Infinity
just saw this.
yeah,
Infinity
especially
War's
with Infinity
already
War.
Infinity War's already gonna be like emotional with like all
Yeah.
the characters and shit.
Yeah,
But like bringing Stan Lee into it with his last cameo, that's gonna touch so many people's hearts.
oh yeah,
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna pluck so many people's heartstrings.
He went out doing what he loved.
Yeah,
We got to remember that.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's something we all need to strive for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but all I could say is, just he was a great man. He created a lot of great stuff, and we have to acknowledge that, that you could become a superhero if you wanted to. If you have like, if there's such a thing as superpowers in this world. I don't think there is. I try to get a spider bite one day, and it just ended up being
Does it
sore.
work out for you?
Just head to your local nuclear power plant, and you'll definitely.
To your local science lab,
Get
top security specifically.
And then maybe you'll find a radioactive spider or a scorpion, or maybe even a swarm of bees that just
right.
sting your face, and then you just get you just get like a
You become stung man.
You get stung man.
Right.
The power to swell up and retract hives.
No, that's just it. The power to swell up. That's all he does.
The most useless superhero ever.
God, I have these two books of like that I got through Loot Crate when I still had it. That is forgotten or worst superheroes, and the other one's worst or forgotten villains. Is like it's pretty good. Like there's a lot of like forgotten heroes that deserve some more recognition.
Yeah.
In general.
Like, that's the thing. Like when these new writers, they can definitely create some new characters.
Yeah.
That it's of course it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
To like
Get popularity.
really get those as like they're not gonna be as popular as Spider-Man, but like they can come really close in like box office films.
Oh yeah,
or best selling.
Like Iron Man wasn't even that popular until like that Iron Man movie came out. So it is possible that like new heroes could become like icons in an instant if they put effort into it. Like,
right. I think what really helped that movie though.
And
I think what really helped that movie though is the casting of Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Right.
But another thing, like, same thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, nobody knew what nobody knew what the Guardians of the Galaxy were.
I didn't fucking know that.
And then Chris Pratt came along and boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a martyr.
That's the thing. Like big stars make bring recognition to a certain thing.
But I also say like
I didn't really know Chris Pratt that well until Guardians of the Galaxy actually. So
yeah.
I think.
But another thing is like
it works both ways.
If anything, the comics need to establish a character, not the movies. So
exactly.
Honestly, like I'm for new creations. I'm for invention. I'm for new iterations of characters. They just have to work. For example, Ironheart, that Riri Williams character, who's taking the mantle of Iron Man.
Right.
Her character is very one-dimensional, but they could have the potential of making her a great character. Basically, all her character is that she's a 15-year-old scientist that like created a suit. That's all her character is.
I mean, that's technically what Spider-Man was. Like,
yeah,
he was just a young guy.
Well, that's just the thing. Like these characters, I actually remember looking this up. I think with Batman, but like a lot of these characters started as just these concepts. They're not real characters. They were just kind of there.
Yeah,
and over time they developed into what we know and love today. Like Batman was not originally this dark crusader that we know him as. Like originally he was like they showed him just as Batman, like he was kid friendly, you know.
Yeah.
Like don't do drugs, kids.
Well, not even like that. Like like good with kids, and just playing with the orphans or something. I don't know, but they,
Yeah.
Like
it's just like the concept of him losing his parents, like his backstory, everything that we know about these characters developed over time.
It's all thanks to Frank Miller, by the way.
DC got like really dark over the years.
Oh yeah.
Like
But that's
Like,
not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's like you have to have like some light with dark. You have to
Yeah.
create light with dark.
Well, another thing
So-
with Marvel is that they also have the Ultimate Marvel Universe. So there's other interpretations of characters that can make, multiverses and stuff, which is also being addressed in the Into the Spider-Verse movie. But like, no, there's like opportunities for like new characters to be made. There just has to be care put into them. They can't just simply like they can't just simply put everything together and just like expect it to be popular off the bat. Like they
Right.
have to think this stuff through. It can't be just a one-dimensional character. They have to put development into the character.
And I think creating new characters and having those reach iconic status, I think that's definitely what Stan Lee would have wanted.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, he wants the concept to keep going.
Yes.
Like you said, anyone can be a hero. It's just you have to put dedication into it,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and I think that's a good note to like end on that topic. Like,
Yes.
really, if you want to do something in this world, show your dedication.
Yes.
That's all it takes.
Wow. It's
Like,
1922. He I wonder if he served in World War II.
Oh yeah, he did. He was
yeah,
he was a vet.
He was yeah.
Veteran.
I didn't know that.
Well, sleep well, Mr. Lee.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Yeah.
Like,
Rest in peace.
I wonder if that's like the phrase that he used to like stay alive so long though. He just kept chanting Excelsior. Oh god.
If you say Excelsior 3 times in the mirror, Stan Lee appears behind you.
God.
Oh my god.
And he's like, hey, do you want an autograph?
Like, what? You just made a cameo in my mirror. Oh god. What? Yeah, I think that's a good note
Yeah.
to end it on.
Yeah.
So on to our next topic.
So
We're
we should go back into like the comic realm. Recently they've announced Teen Titans Go.
What part of I ain't got time do you not understand? I'm genuinely curious.
God
And
damn
yet
it.
here you are.
Wait, you're back?
Hey, I'm here for a undecided amount of time.
Okay.
Undecided.
It's probably
amount.
very short though, so gotta make it count.
All right.
Well-
So I'll just cut here. We'll be facing off against their original interpretations, the Teen Titans. So what are your
From the
thoughts?
2003
Yeah,
series.
the 2004
Yeah.
series actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
how long have I had that wrong?
Not sure.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm excited for this because I love the original Teen Titans. I mean, I could say like Teen Titans Go is not really that good, but it's not bad either. It's just people are very sour about it because they're not like my childhood. They're
Right.
mostly just a comedy series, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just
And-
people
but
love the
not
original
only
Teen
that-
Titans.
Yeah, not only that it's a comedy series, it's for a newer generation. It's for kids.
Yeah.
Like, of course they make like more adult jokes every now and then, but like every cartoon does that.
Yeah. They need
But like it's
Less
made
and less
for a
these days,
younger
though.
audience. Like that's really what it is.
The best way I would describe Teen Titans Go, like the best way I've always described it, is a stoner comedy for kids.
Basically.
Like it's
Oh.
it's TVPG Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That's what it is.
basically.
So, like,
actually,
That's basically why I get mad about all the bitchy fans complaining that it's like, oh, it's too stupid, or like, oh, Robin's too mean-spirited, and it's just like, you know, if you said the same thing about Aqua Teen Hunger Force, people would call you crazy, right? It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be stupid. It's supposed to be like it's supposed to not give a shit.
Right.
You haven't smoked enough weed.
Oh.
I love Teen Titans Go. I'm gonna drop that down right here. I think it's really funny.
Say I love weed.
Teddy.
I've never smoked weed. I'm a good boy.
Are you sure about that?
Tedders,
Teddy, do you
any crazy
do you
stoner
like
stories
Teen
for
Titans
us?
Go?
Excuse, what did you say? Hi, I didn't hear.
Do you like Teen Titans Go, or do you prefer the actual Teen Titans?
Well, obviously I prefer the actual Teen Titans because that's what I grew up with, but I don't think that Teen Titans Go was like garbage because I watched it and found it mildly entertaining, so
Mildly entertaining.
I find a lot of
understand
things
about it.
mildly entertaining though, so that's not saying much. Okay, I gotta go now.
Okay,
bye.
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 We didn't get to hear the crazy stoner stories.
If you want to
go
see a
off and
great,
on.
if you want to see a good example of why I love Teen Titans Go, go watch the episode Painbot. That is one of their best.
Yeah.
Where Cyborg adopts a robot that is only like built to kill, and he was like, no, I can teach it to feel, and it has like this whole musical number where. And the robot can only say the words pain, and it has a musical number in it.
Yeah, I actually liked that episode a little bit.
I love the episode where the Teen Titans are actually trying to act really serious, and they have this like really like serious expression on their face.
I liked the episode when they got to meet their voice actors.
Oh, nice.
like
Oh man,
that was
that
so fucking
sounds
meta.
that sounds awesome. Actually, I've never actually seen. Well, I mean, I've seen I think little bits and pieces, but I've never really got into either show.
It was so funny though, seeing Beast Boy meet his voice actor, because his voice actor's a fucking like stoner musician.
Oh.
Like that's the thing with his voice actor. He's just
Not at all what you'd expect.
Yeah. And that song that he did in the episode with that girl he likes, Tara. That song he actually wrote, the voice actor for him. He actually wrote that.
Oh, nice.
The song Fade Away. He wrote that and just reworded it for Tara. And I found that out. It was pretty.
Oh, so that was one of his songs from his musician.
Yeah.
And then he just changed names up for it.
Yeah, he just changed it up. And like
That's
did
pretty
the
cool.
Beast Boy voice for it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
cool.
There's also the episode Neen, which is one of my favorites, where Raven, like, I think either she casts a spell on herself or her father. No, it's her father. Her father casts a spell on Raven per her request, because everyone is like tired of Raven being like, they call her mean for like shutting down all their ideas and like talking shit about all the dumb things they do. So she asks her father to cast a spell on herself to make her always be nice. And it gets to the point where, like, without Raven having to come in and stop the Titans from all their bullshit, like, it ends up with Starfire almost marrying a bowl of chili, and Raven is just like, okay, that's enough. And she has her father takes away the spell, or she like gets rid of the spell herself. But the episode ends with her like standing at the wedding ceremony, giving a speech, and like, guys, this is fucking stupid. And everyone looks at each other and is just like, I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah, this is really dumb.
Wait, she marrying the chili?
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's the thing.
And Robin was all jealous. And
that's the thing with Teen Titans Go, is that like as much shit as it gets, like I think it's really self-aware,
Yeah.
and that
I'll be right back, guys.
so it's one of those shows that you can just create a moment and put on YouTube or Twitter to like have people talk about this show.
I
Like,
think it gets flagged because of its overplayability. Because considering
That's definitely a part of it.
yeah, because like they also have other shows like Steven Universe and stuff like Adventure Time, all these other shows, and people like there's dedicated fan bases for those shows. Teen Titans Go doesn't really have that much of a dedicated fan base, so people get really sick and tired of it being overplayed. Because
what
They were
season are they on?
they were releasing new shows that would only air like once a week, while Teen Titans Go aired like constantly.
yeah,
I know a lot of people were like mad at Cartoon Network for that reason. It's just like you're making it so the new shows can't succeed by airing Teen Titans all the time.
Right. Like they push it down everyone's throats.
yeah,
pretty
and that's
much,
why
is the
people are
problem.
not really happy about it. But like honestly, if
Like,
they could
look
like
at this show for like a newer generation. We have to show you all the goddamn time. Like that's what it's become,
yeah,
and that's how it itself doesn't succeed
yeah,
because people give up on it for having it just shoved in their face.
yeah, I agree.
But anyway, the crossover.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be anything big. I think it's just going to be like at most, I'm seeing a half an hour special.
Yeah,
That's like the first half is just going to be like a bunch of meta jokes and like poking fun at Teen Titans Go a lot, because that's what they do that a lot on the show. Like 30% of their humor is just making fun of themselves.
right.
So I imagine there's definitely going to be a lot of that in the crossover. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of commentary about like the fans like being mad about. I'm guessing one of the jokes is like the Titans are going to be mad at the Go Titans for like like we like how many episodes have you guys done?
Right.
Like it's like they find out that the Teen Titans Go have done like 250 episodes, and they're just like, we only got 3 seasons. What the hell?
Like, yeah, it's gonna be like a more self-referential kind of special.
yeah,
But the thing is, what I've noticed with like Cartoon Network specials, with like their big popular series, is that they put more effort into those than the entire series.
yeah,
Like,
they do.
like the end of Adventure Time.
Yeah,
I had not watched Adventure Time for a long time. Like, yeah. But
Okay, I'm back.
I watched it, and when it first aired, I watched like the first 2 seasons. It was okay.
yeah,
And then but the thing is, that show inspired a lot of like other shows and like artists, and
yeah,
it was so influential. And then people didn't really realize that till the ending episode that made it just came to a close,
yeah,
brought it to like a big close where everyone was happy.
yeah,
Like that's what I've noticed with like a lot of these Cartoon Network specials, with like even I can assure you Steven Universe is gonna be that way too.
yo, yeah. The only thing about the Adventure Time finale is, well, it's a problem with, I think with Cartoon Network shows in general, they didn't actually pre-plan, the ending. Like, for example, Princess Bubblegum, she didn't even have that like relationship with Marceline planned out. It just came to be.
But the thing is, well, they've they've hinted at it with episodes before,
Yeah,
but they pretty much just rushed that idea
yeah,
at the end, which
Mm.
is understandable for like an ending thing like that. Like
I
that's
have
gonna
not
come
seen
about for
Adventure
like any
Time.
kind of series that you have to rush a certain idea. But like it came about in like the best possible way though.
Mm,
Uh like I said, I grew out of Adventure Time over time.
yeah.
But
So have a good
uh
time. The sun can shine every day.
God damn it. But that show was actually pretty decent. Like the ending episode was really good.
Yeah, I actually thought it was
Like
pretty good.
I thought it was so sad. Like uh and like so happy at the same time. Like uh and like I said, Steven Universe is gonna be a feels trip. Like Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Uh Still waiting on that new season, by the way. But uh fucking they do this a lot. Like with the newer version of Samurai Jack.
Oh yeah.
Uh that like brought so much attention to the older uh episodes of Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
Because like those episodes, that new season basically felt like just a bunch of specials, to be honest.
Hmm.
They felt like OVAs
Yeah.
very much.
Hmm.
Uh and that's totally fine because it brought attention to the old series.
I
Uh
love how like serious it was compared to the original series. I mean, it still felt like it was like the original tone, but it was way more mature, and that's what I love about it. It was
right.
darker. Like there was
That's
actually gore and stuff.
that's what I've noticed though with like a lot of newer iterations or new seasons of like old shows is that they like aside from Teen Titans Go is that they get darker and more meta.
Yeah.
Like they become like more realistic.
Yeah.
Uh like Adventure Time. Like it was still fucking like just ridiculous humor, but like it was pretty serious at times.
Oh yeah.
Like it was pretty hardcore at times. And Steven Universe definitely got proved a
Oh
point to
yeah.
like bringing real life issues into like a cartoon.
Which is another reason why I like Teen Titans Go so much, because it is like one of the few shreds left of a cartoon just wanting to be a funny cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I
It's
agree
also
with that.
Like I can get like, of course we can't erase like serious moments in life. We can't
Yeah.
erase like the history of like these characters, but you gotta have fun
Oh yeah.
every
Yeah,
now and then.
can we just have one? Can I just like fucking? I don't care how good how good the cart like. Yeah, I obviously care. It's good that these cartoons that are coming out now, like most of them, are pretty great. But it's like every single cartoon nowadays is like serialized and like has an overarching story and
Yeah.
has serious undertones and stuff, and it's like can't can't I like can't I
just go back to
I
the
don't want
episodic
I
style.
can't yeah I just miss it. Yeah, I just want to
Right.
Another
like every
Very Odd Parents or something.
Yeah.
yes, a cartoon
Yeah.
that just wants to be silly and fun.
Yeah, Very Odd Parents, like those movies made everything like so serious and such.
Yeah.
Like
And
still being funny and ridiculous, but like
Yeah.
yeah.
those movies kind of ruined
But
it.
they
And
still
then
had a good
after that,
conflict, and they still had weight to them.
they got a new character that I absolutely hate. Like
Yeah. But even then, like
the
That's just
Butch
little
milking it.
Hartman's other like projects, like for example Danny Phantom, especially Danny Phantom, they were still pretty serious. They still had original like stories and like a serious overtone to them. Where Very Odd Parents was just stupid fun.
that's the thing. Like you have to have like a diverse uh bringing up
Field of
of
entertainment,
those,
yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
you can't just have them all be serious
Yeah.
or all
Yeah,
stupid,
exactly.
stupid comedy.
I
Like, you
don't
have
want to come off. I don't want to come off as if I'm against cartoons being serious or I'm against them being serialized.
You
I'm
just want
not.
variety.
But
because
like,
that's
not when
that's
all of them are.
Yeah. Exactly.
that's the thing with like demographics. You have to play to demographics. You can't just play to one.
Yeah, and it kind of leads to a problem because when you play demographics, you have to be serious, and it leads to more. It leads to like demonization. Fuck,
wouldn't
I
even
don't
say
know what the word.
demographics.
Not
I think
demonization.
demographics, just
Isolation. Yes.
not even demographics. Just be original, or just be inspired with it. Don't try to play to what is the trend or what the demographics say.
Yeah.
Right.
Just have
Dude,
fun with it. Do your own thing, and
I
let
hate-
things be individualized, and they will, if the variety will come out naturally.
Yeah.
I hate shows that try to play to trends like fucking
Yeah. Everything these
Powerpuff
days.
Girls.
Oh God,
was
Powerpuff Girls.
utter garbage.
It's
that
so
new
bad.
one, that was utter garbage. Like they were twerking. That's kids.
Yeah.
Twerking and dabbing.
Yeah.
Like
Cringe.
no. Like
And there's stupid stuff like they made a new Powerpuff Girl for the sake of it. They didn't actually take into consideration the original creators' work.
right.
And that's one thing I fear about Stan Lee. Going back to that topic, if they try to like ruin his creations by like creating new characters that are like not like the original intention. That's what I'm fearing.
Yeah. Without him there to keep them on track.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just going to
You could say the
run
same
into the
thing about
ground.
you could say the same thing about Ruby.
Or you could say the same thing about Kemono Friends. Should we go into that topic?
I
My
mean, if
rant?
you want to do your rant now.
Oh yeah,
We,
we can do my
we
rant right
barely
now.
talked about this crossover at all.
Yeah.
We got sidetracked by Cartoon Network and like just like talking about cartoons in general.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically what the whole thing was.
Yeah, because like there wasn't really much to go off anyway. All we know is like it's happening. We don't know what it's about, but it's happening.
Yeah.
Well, we basically talked about like the problems with it, though, with like new generation versus old generation.
Yeah.
Like the problem with Cartoon Network doing that, and Disney does that too, and Nickelodeon does that.
Yeah. But anyways, I think it's time I actually talk about Kemono Friends, and how everything has been going around since the announcement of season 2 for that series. So if you guys haven't known, I do an abridged series of Kemono Friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so surprising how much effort I put into it. But no, like there's a lot of controversy with how the original director Tezuki got fired. I made a video on that previously. But ever since the announcement of season 2, I knew it was going to happen eventually. And I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm not writing it off the bat. But I still want to make this rant. This was originally going to be its own video. It was going to be its own series called Tabloids, but now it's dissolved into BridgeBrains. So I got a lot more freedom to talk about whatever I want here. First and foremost, the dislike ratio of the original announcement made me pretty pissed off because I stand by this. I'm willing to give things a chance, no matter how bad they seem. I'm not saying you need to like it.
Don't judge a book by its cover, basically.
Yeah. Well, first off, I'm gonna state most of the people's problem with the controversy is they're butthurt about Suzuki not being involved. First and foremost,
rightfully so.
First and foremost, they had a falling out, and Suzuki's probably not going to be working on Kemono Friends ever again. I know for a fact they were trying to, but it seems like Suzuki has moved on and is now working on his new anime. It's called Kimuri Kuza. If you, it's coming out next season. But yeah, like right when that controversy was coming out, I was willing to defend them, especially with stupid stuff like for example, the casting call they did where like they were giving auditions for some of the new like characters for the season, and they said in the application there's parts where you actually have to put they are asking people for their bust size, like their breast size and stuff, and people are saying, "Oh, it's being like sexual harassment." Dude, it's not like they're like live stage actors that actually perform their characters on stage. Oh wait, they do.
Wait, say it again. I'm back up.
Yeah, because like the
I
voice
kind of zoned out and came back into sexual harassment. So,
the casting call put stuff for their breast size. So people were thinking that it was sexist or sexual harassment.
I mean, that's normal. That's standard operation for theater, you know?
Yeah, like the thing is, the voice actresses in this case, they do double duty. So not only do they voice act for the series,
they're idols.
Yeah, they play the characters on stage and sing. It's for costumes. There's no reason to think that they're gonna be abused or something.
Yeah.
Like the characters PPP, that's an actual fucking idol band.
Exactly.
In Japan. Like and they do really well, by the way. Like,
oh yeah.
They're one of my favorite idols. But like they do double duty, like so it's understandable like for them to know that, as creepy as it sounds, that kind of information for putting on those kind of performances to get like costumes designed and stage designed. Like,
yeah,
that's the thing.
And then there's stuff like the scripts are plagiarized and stuff that's like pretty minor, but my problems with it only came very recently when they announced the directors and stuff, and more specifically when it was being released. So this season is premiering next season. If I mentioned before, Suzuki's new anime is coming next season as well. So
so it's gonna be like,
so they like held it off just
they're
to rub it in
straight
his face.
up feuding with like the original director.
Oh,
because they're gonna be in the same kind of time slot.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Like, I would have defended them had season 2 premiered in spring, not in January, the same month as his like Suzuki's new anime is coming out. They're intentionally,
considering the like dislike ratio on their promo, you'd think they'd realize, okay, maybe this isn't a good idea.
Yeah, honestly,
right.
Like it's pretty clear who people are gonna side with.
Exactly. Like, what are they thinking? Like they it seems like,
what asshole is running this thing, and kick him out.
it's like they expect it to go bad for them. Like, here's the thing. They had the first season had a disadvantage because they gave the dying franchise to a game that was about to be discontinued to a low budget studio. This season, this time, they have a disadvantage because you're going into a feud with a guy that single-handedly saved your property from from its demise, because Tezuki's anime was really popular. Here's another thing. Even though he made it popular, it wasn't his series, and it wasn't his series. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm actually glad he's not going to be working on Kemono Friends Season 2, because now he can actually create something of his own. He could actually create his own properties and stuff. The thing was, with Kemono Friends, it was not his property, and even though he had creative freedom for that, it could only go so far. And that's what I'm fearing with this new series. Another thing that really pisses me off, Kaban or Bag is not coming back. And I have a problem with that, because why in the fuck are you calling it Season 2 if you're not bringing back a character from the first season? From the plot that they're describing, it almost seems like it's a complete rehash of the first season. Why couldn't they just call it something else, like Kemono Friends Adventure or something like that? Kemono Friends Quest or
what it could have done is try to adapt the manga. Like, the manga is actually pretty great.
Yeah, like something like that. Like, they don't need to create something original for this if they just made like something brand new instead of like profiting off the first series, nobody would have had a problem with that. People would it would have been impossible to like capture the same type of storytelling the first season did anyway. The thing was, like, with this, it really just seems like it's just a fucking cash grab, and that kind of pisses me off.
That's the thing. The label is what brings in the attention.
Exactly.
Like, the name Kemono Friends already has so much recognition in Japan and even in America.
Nobody would have had that problem if it was just an original series that was not related to the first season. Nobody would have had a problem with that.
Well, you can say the same thing about a lot of spin-offs.
Yeah.
Of like anime. Like Soul Eater Not. It's exactly what the title says. It's not Soul Eater.
Yeah. But they didn't have that much problems with the other video games until Pavillon and Festival. Like, nobody had a problem with those games. They actually really liked those games. And nobody brought up the Tsuki controversy until like Season 2 was actually formally announced. So, yeah, anything that is happening with the franchise now is going to reflect badly on them because of Tezuki. And they added fuel to the fire to this, especially when they're airing the same month as Tezuki's new anime. And to me, as a fan, this pisses me off because I want to support both of them. Like, there's no reason for them to be in bad blood. But I can understand that they're not going to come to a resolve, but I want the fandom to at least become like at a resolve where they're like okay with anything happening to the other like company or something like that. Some shit like that.
Right. Wildcard and Zay, as your guys' only exposure to Kemono Friends is Nintles, right?
No.
Yep.
Well, my first exposure was through Nintles. I was introduced through Nintles, but I've seen.
What's your guys' opinions on like this change of like basically just a cash grab, pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, it's my understanding that or it's the accepted theory I've noticed that I don't know, the studio tried to get involved in the creating process, and they wanted to try to make it in a way to where they could, market more toys and shit, and just try to like milk it for money at the expense of the.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with marketing it. It's just
No. But they were trying to get involved and do it at the expense of the story itself and of
Yeah.
the franchise.
Right.
I agree.
And he said no, and they said, "Okay, we'll find. If you won't do it, we'll find someone who will."
Right.
But the fact that they're feuding, or the fact that they're being this petty about it,
Yeah.
is just
Kadokawa, like as a business, is not
Yeah.
great.
we need.
Oh,
Yeah, they need to cut the head off that snake and put a better one on.
Yeah, honestly. But no, like,
I'm guessing Kemono Friends is popular.
yes, it is.
Oh, it's
in,
huge
in
in
Japan.
Japan.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because like that's like it's basically like 101 for a studio to be like, this series is popular, it's getting a second season. So like we need to make a
And
second
yet,
season no matter what. The
ReZero.
creator is leaving. Fuck him. We got to make a second season. It's popular.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, but they didn't. He didn't just leave. They threw him out
Yeah.
because they wouldn't let him. He wouldn't let them micromanage and destroy the show for the sake of additional toy sales or whatever.
And now they're being pity with him by releasing the new season when his anime premieres.
Yeah.
This is this is sounding vaguely familiar to a situation between a certain game creator and a certain shitty game company.
Hmm.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think I do. Is it
Kojima and Konami.
Oh,
Wait, who did you think I was talking about, John?
I didn't know.
Could you have been talking about Kenji
But why
Inafune
would-
with Mighty Number 9?
But
Oh no, I was
Kojima-
talking about Hideo Kojima and Konami because they
Right.
treated him like shit those last few years where he was working there, to the point where like he was supposed to, like, his Metal Gear Solid 5 won the award of best game of the year, and Konami forbid him from accepting the award.
Yeah.
How can they even do that?
Contracts bullshit, I don't know.
And
Point is
B,
that he was not allowed to go on stage and accept the award. And eventually, he didn't quit Konami. They kicked him out.
Wow.
why?
That is utter bullshit. Like,
But no, like,
that is just
Speaking
Like,
of
they were not
getting
just,
cut
it
off-
wasn't the reason it reminded me of that is like, it's not even the fact that they were like mean to him. It was the fact that like they were just like creators get abused in studios all the time.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's shitty when it happens, but it happens.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between like getting screwed over by a studio and having the studio go out of its way to make your job harder.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's just some petty bullshit.
That's
Uh,
petty, and that's
It's
which is why everyone hates
unprofessional.
Konami now,
Yeah.
because
It's
they fucking
unprofessional.
deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any company to be so unprofessional like that doesn't deserve their spot.
But like,
in
why
the
would
market.
they? Where does that even? How does that even make sense to them? Like, they could be petty assholes, but but why are they being petty assholes and hurting themselves at the same time? Like,
Just
why are they
money.
being stupid petty assholes? Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
Like, that doesn't even make sense money wise. You have this golden goose here. Let's kick it out and piss everyone off.
That's
Like,
dumb.
exactly. Like,
Like-
there's no logical reason that has been explained yet
Like,
as to any
here's
for any of
how
this.
I wrote like the script. Here's how it could have been better. You know Mighty Number 9, right? So basically, Mighty Number 9, Keiji Inafune. So if you don't know, Keiji Inafune did get screwed over with Capcom when he was trying to make like Mega Man Legends free, and they canceled tons and tons of Mega Man games, and it led to Keiji Inafune leaving Capcom, forming his new studio and creating a Kickstarter for Mighty Number 9. That ended up becoming very popular. It got funded, but the game ended up being shit. And there was a lot of factors that were put into it. what Capcom did in response to this, they created Mega Man 11 only after the failure of Mighty Number 9, and it almost felt like basically they screwed the creator of Mega Man, because Kenji Inafune is the father of Mega Man, but they showed that they could actually do it better than him. But the difference was, this was 5 years after Kenji Inafune left the company. Like, nearly 5 years. Had they done that, like, right when he got fired and stuff, and they were trying to make Mighty Number 9, if they tried to release Mega Man 11 at that time, it would have not gone well.
That would have been some shady shit.
Yeah, I would have. But, like, them waiting on it and seeing where Mighty Number 9 would go, they actually took the success off of Kenji Inafune and put it onto them instead. Even though, I'm gonna say this out loud, Mega Man 11 is not a good game. It's kind of bad. I'm not even being, like, transparent about it. It's a bad game.
It was a pretty rushed game.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of stuff they can easily improve on.
Like, which is funny because, you know, they wait on it so long and yet they still fucking rush it.
Yeah. Like, even for, like, the first 3D, like, true 3D Mega Man game, even, like, a game like Mega Man 8 had a lot more, like, invention to it. Even though I would say Mega Man 8 was a way worse game. But no, like, it almost felt like they were playing safe.
Right. Honestly, though, Smash has given more love to Mega Man than Capcom at this.
Yeah, like,
I find that so funny. Like,
yeah, I agree. But no, like there was an excuse for Mega Man 9 to be safe because it was returned to form. It was basically the return to 8-bit. But for Mega Man 11, they were going into 3D. There was no reason for them to play it safe. Where something like Mighty Number 9, they did went into 3D. They tried new stuff. It's just it was a badly polished game. But another thing was, like, had they released Mega Man 11 and it was rushed, like, around the time of Mighty Number 9 coming out, Mighty Number 9 would have been way more successful. But Capcom, they know business. They know, had they tried to do that, people would have rejected it. People would have hated on it. And they did this with a Mega Man, with a Mega Man mobile game. It was called Crossover, Xover, and it was fucking terrible. It was, like, rushed. It was bad. It was supposed to celebrate his 25th anniversary. But yeah, like,
I was gonna say with, like, as such with mobile games of, like, really popular series like that, they're rushed. Just like Sonic Rush.
But no, that's basically Kadokawa is really putting themselves in the grave here. As a fan of Kemono Friends, I am not happy about it at all. I think it's fucking pity that they're doing this stuff.
Petty,
yeah. I don't fucking care.
I mean, you and Zay both said pity, and it's like, that's not. That means something completely different.
I'm sorry, wild card.
No, it's good. It's just make sure we're not giving the wrong message here.
But no, like, all I could say is, I'm hoping that Suzuki and Kadokawa do well, but for fuck's sake, let's stop with the fucking feuding. Let's actually, like, coexist for once.
Like, just be professional about it. Like,
that's one thing I just don't like about, like,
we just gave several examples of the same thing.
Yeah, like
why do these company heads feel like they own these people? Like, where is this toxic bullshit coming from.
It comes from pity and just like it festers into like hatred, and that's why I feel Kadokawa is like. I think the fandom basically put themselves into that situation, and Kadokawa is just using it as a response to fuck over the fans. And you're just like, oh, you're just gonna hate on this? Well, then fuck you. We're just gonna air it at the same time as his new anime coming out, and that's a bad message. That is not professional.
All that does is make you look bad.
Exactly.
It's not like it saves you money or anything.
Exactly, that's what I've been saying. Like, it's
like the people having a problem with this, they're like a focal minority. It shouldn't affect your product. You're making it so it's affecting the product. It's not fair.
It shows that they, as a business, don't even prioritize making money.
Yeah.
Which is
right. That's the thing that gets me. This doesn't help you business-wise.
Yeah.
If you're making an effort to release it or at the same month that he releases his, then at that point you're either delaying it or rushing it.
Yeah.
And neither of those makes you any money. So it's like, and you're a corporation, you're a business. That's like your one job.
They're not publicly traded, are they?
Kadokawa?
Either of them.
I mean, Kadokawa is a huge.
I know that's huge.
They're like they're a publishing service. They're animation company.
Yeah.
Basically,
I think
label.
they might be public. Kadokawa.
Yeah.
See, like bullshit like this should make their stocks plummet.
Yeah.
So again, like the fact that they're public makes it even more so of what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Because like if it was not public, it was private and they were doing this. I mean, without the influence of the investors, it's just, I mean, that's bad enough, but you have the influence of investors here and you're pulling this bullshit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you saying to your investors?
Yeah.
You're going to find your investors, you suddenly have no investors, and, you know, you're going to be wondering, whoa, shit, what happened to my company? It's like, this whole thing is just, I feel like I'm looking at this, I feel like I'm looking at an incomplete picture here.
Yeah.
And for them, we definitely are. But, like, it just doesn't make any sense at all with what little of this picture we have.
Yeah, I agree. Like, the fandom was so happy before this Suzuki bullshit came out. Like, I would argue it was probably my favorite fandom of all time before any of this happened.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Like, they cut the head off the golden goose there.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Like, everything is so negative nowadays, but Kemono Friends, like, last year, at around like early last year, 2017, it was beautiful. We were like a family.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, like, about the Kemono Friends thing is, they call them friends for a reason.
Exactly.
Like, it's supposed to be like a little happy community. Then fucking Kadokawa just shut all that down.
Yeah, greed got in the way, and
what I'm promoting is positivity. I'm willing to give Kemono Friends 2 a chance, but I'm concerned with how they're handling, especially the story, and how they're competing against the original director.
I have a feeling that we're gonna see what drove him out to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna see something happening here that's would make us want to walk away too, you know?
Yeah.
That's like sort of like pretty much what happened to Telltale. Like,
yeah.
So many employees came out about like how terrible it was to be there, how like terrible it was to be fired by them, to be literally thrown out by them. The same way that that he is, like, it's ridiculous. It's company greed
Yeah,
is disgusting.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's really all it comes down to is that
Just corporate greed.
like I'm willing to give Kemono Friends a chance. I'm willing to give uh the new anime a chance.
Especially when it comes to art.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Nothing kills art faster than corporate greed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like no matter how
like-
much of a good art style you have, because compared to the first season, like I love the art style of this new series. It looks really good,
It,
but
it looks really good.
but it's not gonna matter if you don't have a good story or if you don't have good heart towards it. And that's one thing I really like about Kemono
It's all
Friends.
inspired,
People didn't like it because of its art style, but they gave it a chance because of its story. It had a good like plot
Yeah, it was
going
inspired.
around. It was
I could say
inspiring.
the same. I could say the same thing about Absolute Duo, which is also owned by Kadokawa.
Yeah.
Mind you. Story absolutely garbage. Compared to the manga, uh, or light novel, but because the art style, the animation, awesome. It's really good. Like, but the story is what comes into play. Is that it's garbage. It's rushed.
Yeah.
Like everything's
Mhm.
so rushed in it. Like Kadokawa, I've noticed this with like a lot of the series they make. They adapt so many shows that have like really good story, and they spend
leave
all
out the
their money
story.
on the animation and stuff, but don't actually care about the actual story.
Yeah.
It sounds like they change it in order to, well, milk more money out of it, bro.
Yeah, to make a profit. Like,
Like
Yeah,
there's
I mean, like, yeah, this
like
is,
yeah, I think it's just a
this-
problem with anime in general. They don't really care about like creating a good product. They just care about moe shit and just fan service.
not even that. It's become so industrialized that
Yeah, it is.
it's just they won't even open doors for new ideas, original concepts. There's no, it's becoming less inspired. It feels like.
Yeah.
right.
Well, that's all I have to say is I'm willing to give like a chance to Kadokawa. I'm willing to give them a second chance, but they have to do good. They have to prove people that they could do it without Suzuki. If they can't,
And-
then they blew their chance because I don't think Suzuki should come back. I think he should be
No.
focusing on his own stuff. So
Yeah,
right.
they have one chance. They can't fuck this up.
and the way they're acting now doesn't seem like it's beginning to look like they're gonna fuck this up.
Yeah, especially with like
Right.
them not even bringing back a very prominent character with the first series. Yeah, with Bag.
Who- Bag's not coming back.
Yeah, like she's not coming back. She's being replaced.
What? What?
And it's not even by like the character that's in the manga.
It's not like a character that's in the manga. It's
Yeah,
just a
it's
new character.
Completely.
How and
completely
why and what the fuck?
Probably because it was Suzuki's creation. Probably.
Right, Suzuki created Bag.
I don't
Yeah.
think most of the cast. I don't think most of the voice actors even agree with it.
Yeah.
It's the sad truth is they don't. It doesn't matter what they think.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. That's the sad truth about like
Mm-hmm.
voice acting or any kind of media that you do for a company.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, like
So-
all I could say is they have one chance, and the fans,
Are
they
watching.
could be vocal as they want. I don't necessarily agree with them being negative all the time, but if you piss them off, they're not going to be happy, and it seems right now you're pissing them off, and they have every right to
That
speak out
seems
against
like
this
such
stuff.
a redundant statement.
Yeah.
if you piss them off, they're not going to be happy.
People die when they're
People
killed.
die when they are killed. Yes.
But no, like, you already pissed him off with this situation. You're only adding fuel to the fire if you fuck this up. And
what's our next topic? I feel like we're saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So
our next topic is to delve into movies. Like,
yeah. So recently there's been tons of trailers coming out for new movies. So let's talk about some. Detective Pikachu, what are your thoughts on that?
Yes.
Oh my god, this podcast has been so depressing. Now I'm just like, yes, let's talk about a Pikachu voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
But then you realize that it's not being voiced by Danny DeVito, and then it gets even more depressing.
Like, Danny DeVito, yeah, could have been something, but like Ryan Reynolds, pretty good pick too. Like,
yeah, no, like, that's a great pick.
But like,
Pikachu, I
so
love
He's
it.
the only one who can make saying Pika Pika sound sexy.
Yeah.
So first off, this movie came about because of the game that came out, and that's only because it came out years before it ever came out in Japan, in America, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, because they have to get the rights for it.
That's so weird though. They have a Nintendo of America.
Yeah, Nintendo America, like, they were, and
think-
Nintendo Japan were just having like this whole conflict for some reason on this specific game.
Why would you fight
It was
yourself
so
like
weird.
that?
I think that's
so
what
weird.
led
So
to the
weird.
creation of this movie in the first place, because they were having that conflict.
Yeah,
Would that be
yes,
correct?
but no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but like, that's how that came about. Like, the game did pretty well in Japan. It's doing okay in America.
That's the thing, it's not even a popular game.
It's really
Well, it might have been at the time, but it's kind of outdated by the time they
that-
got
that's
released.
the thing though. Like,
First
Kemono-
live-action Pokemon movie, and it's a Detective Pikachu movie.
Yeah.
right? That's the
What timeline am I in?
right.
But
What
that's the thing,
universe is this?
This
That's the thing though. Like, Kemono Friends the games weren't popular until they like made an anime about it.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the thing about Pokemon too. Games were super popular, yes. Well, they became super popular, but not at first. Not at first.
Yeah.
They weren't.
It was
The
until
anime really helped.
Yeah.
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 But of all
That's-
games, why in the fuck the Detective Pikachu one?
Right?
I think
But-
it's just the concept. Like, the
Yeah.
concept is so funny. Like,
Yeah, but I
it's
mean,
interesting.
I don't know, like this whole thing. Like, usually when it comes to live adaptations of video games, they're usually shit.
Yeah.
But like this one feels different. Like,
Like,
it feels
this
like
one-
the people involved actually love Pokemon. They actually, go
Right.
for it. Like, it feels inspired. There's good energy about it, good humor. And again, with Ryan Reynolds, I love Ryan Reynolds, so it's
Yeah.
just that's
But-
just
I'm just surprised they never made like a animated version before making a live action.
yeah.
Like,
They
that's
skipped a
the
step
thing.
here.
Like, they kind of skipped something here. Like Mega Evolutions has its own side series.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Pokemon Chronicles has its own series.
in
Why
general, this
couldn't they
feels-
make a Detective Pikachu special?
Yeah, that would have been
This is it.
interesting.
This is it.
But what I would have like preferred
The-
had this been like a original Pokemon movie instead of a Detective Pikachu one, and then maybe had Detective Pikachu be a sequel.
Right.
But I think the reason
thing with
why
this is like,
you could go ahead.
thank you. This feels like such a breath of fresh air, though, for the series. Like, this feels like the most original thing since the second generation was introduced.
Yeah.
To me, because like this, everything, the whole approach to this just feels so, it's so different. And I know that's that's what's getting people so worked up. But if you look in between, if you look through that and you can see the details in the trailer, you can tell this is not like they're doing it right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're going to do this right, and I have a good feeling about this one.
Right.
And
You don't like.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Zach.
I'm just repeating the same thing that I've been repeating. It's like it's so weird. It feels unreal that like a series as popular as Pokemon gets a live action movie, and it's a Detective Pikachu movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you're right about it, and you're right about one thing, because uh like about this feeling like a breath of fresh air, because like when you expect a live action Pokemon movie, you expect them to play it safe
Exactly.
and
That's
like
just,
do the
that's what's so
and do the
surprising at all.
predictable thing, do like a live action version of the anime, or like recreate the game world, but they're like, no,
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
That's the most surprising part of it, is that it's so bold and so, they broke the mold so much that it's like the shock of that
it's
is
getting
just,
people to talk about it.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
like
It's like-
it's brilliant.
It's like if the first live action Mario movie was Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Oh god, dude, I want to see that. Like now that you say it,
And that's actually kind of a smart way of doing it. Instead of taking this risk on your main product, on you're the king of the hill.
yeah, that's
Let's take a side hill, and that alone, so you don't shatter people's illusions with the main one, but still have fun with it. And
that's
you
how
know,
that's how Dragon Ball Evolution failed.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Like, just imagine
Like-
instead of like that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, we instead got the Turbo Power Rangers movie instead.
Like, it's
Also,
weird
Evolution
how they
failed
did-
just because like
That's basically how they're
Goku
handling it.
they had Goku making fun of Chi-Chi's name, where it's like, what kind of a name is Chi-Chi? And it's like, it's Japanese, you dickhead.
right.
Well, like they straight up admitted they had no idea, like they hadn't even seen Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
or Dragon Ball when they made
and that pisses me off. Like
Yeah, when you don't
when
even
you make a
familiarize
movie,
yourself.
when you make something like when you make media of something, at least do some fucking
Research, exactly.
and don't just like look at fucking Wikipedia. Like actual
Yeah.
do research.
Yeah, quit being lazy assholes.
Yeah.
But the biggest, the other thing is that this is being made by the people who made Lego Movie, which is also very promising.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. No one thought Lego Movie was gonna go
Exactly.
anywhere.
I remember
it
that.
looked-
It looked like it was going to be awful, and it turned out to be amazing.
It turned out to be one of the best movies of that year.
Yeah.
Like,
So I'm really excited for this one, actually. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm
And it's-
arguing with a bunch of people, but I'm really excited for it.
right, and like for Pokemon to be slapped on that, it's turned from the trailer. They seem to be going into like a more mature tone.
I
Not like
know.
I know. Oh my
yes.
god, I will laugh so freaking hard if this gets a PG-13 rating.
yeah,
I hope it does. I hope
That's the
that,
thing,
I think that'll be
honestly,
promising
I
if it
hope.
does.
yeah. That like it's not getting full adult humor like
Yeah.
dick jokes.
They
and
use the
stuff,
term
like-
"shove it." I wasn't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're like you
was
got
not
Mr. Mime
expecting
telling
that.
Pikachu to shove a dick up his ass.
Oh, I love that.
And then it's also so like self-referential, like he's speaking, but no one else can hear him speak.
Oh,
Yeah, I know,
love
that's
that.
so
Only
beautiful.
him.
But also, I think this is the first time you ever see a Pokemon based thing where you have a failed trainer. Like,
Yeah.
how do you no one you've never even heard of a failed trainer in any of its media before. So the
Right.
fact that you have this, it gives it a lot more to connect to.
Right.
A shattered dream and a second chance. Like those are things
'Cause-
that other Pokemon stuff has never really touched.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because that's the thing, like with Pokemon, not everyone in that world is a Pokemon trainer. There's
Yeah.
doctors, there's fucking detectives. There's police officers.
There's Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. Like,
Pokemon are taking our jobs.
they're basically taking
They
that
really
whole
are.
concept of like, there's not just Pokemon trainers in that world.
Yeah, but
They're
have you ever
doing
heard
something-
of Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I was done with that.
Okay, have you ever heard of Pokemon Rusty?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly like that.
one of the greatest YouTube series I have ever seen.
Yes. You're not gonna be some pet trainer. You're gonna get a real job. And it's like that's the real that's
God,
such
that
a
was the-
realistic approach to it.
That was the
Boy.
dorkly. That was the dorkly golden era.
Yeah,
Like fuck.
the golden
ended-
Bidoof.
When it ended, God. I was actually sad when it ended.
I know.
But back to this. I just think, like you said, they're really showing that this is coming from like fans of the series, or like,
Yeah,
and if they're not fans, they at least did their research.
right. Like this is
Yeah.
they're actually being inspired for once instead of making an anthropomorphic trash can.
Yeah,
Basically.
They're not pulling a Dragon Ball evolution.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Basically.
that's safe to say.
I mean, am I expecting this movie to be good? No, but
Like
yeah.
I'm
From
hoping
the-
the
it will.
trailer at least was like
yeah,
I've watched it a couple times. It's a really enjoyable trailer, surprisingly.
that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like it's the scripting that really makes it. It's that the animation is really awkward. It doesn't look awful.
Yeah.
It's just really awkward.
Because
It-
but
they
it
didn't
still
change
works.
they didn't change the designs of the Pokemon. They kept
No.
their cartoony designs. They just gave them realistic textures.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it looks like
and it looks really weird.
Yeah, it looks like a DeviantArt interpretation of a real life Pokemon.
It does. Oh my god, didn't even think of that. It totally does.
Yeah.
Because everyone's
and-
talking about how weird Mr. Mime looks, but I'm like, fuck that. Look at Psyduck.
Look at Jigglypuff, especially Jigglypuff.
Oh god.
Oh god, the Jigglypuff!
like-
Don't get me
But
started.
dude, look at those Bulbasaurs though. That's so cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing. It's like it's not terrible animation. It's just really awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is with that, it doesn't really matter. It's the script.
You know,
It's the whole take on the series that they're doing this.
you know what it kind of
Yeah,
reminds me of? It reminds me of that fake trailer they made called Pokemon Evolution. Ever saw that?
It feels like a fake trailer.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck in this mindset of like, this shouldn't exist. Everything,
it's too good to
according to
exist.
logic, tells me this shouldn't exist.
Yeah, yeah, it's too good for something to come from, something as corporate as Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Pokemon Company and Nintendo are so protective of their rights. They gave Hollywood
Yeah, the fact that they let
free
America
pass.
do this is incredible.
like that kind of shows like they're being more open about it.
And that's
And-
that's promising.
Unless it just comes out in the news later that like they
Gotcha.
didn't like the movie at all. They didn't like the movie at all, and that they don't want any involvement in it. That they want to take their tag off of it, pretty much. Like, yeah, that would.
And then they
be
want to put
them
it back
being
on when it's a
petty.
huge hit.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, kind of Star Wars is heading that way.
Yeah.
Because George Lucas has no involvement on that now,
And
and
it's just going to
he's
shit.
not a fan of the newer movies.
Yeah.
I'm not either. Well, compared to the older movies, I'm not either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Like-
bad writing.
But anyways, let's go on to the next topic.
Well,
Oh, you're not
okay.
finished? You have anything to
Uh,
say?
not really. I just want to talk about Detective Pikachu more. It's the most fun I've had on this podcast so far.
Right.
Like-
Yeah, we could talk about
Because
that.
it is
But-
it like I like
Yeah, so
Like I briefly said that I'm not expecting the movie to be good because not only because of the at some point you've just got to like accept that video game movies, it's like you I can we like every single time a trailer for a video game movie comes out and it looks awesome, people are just like, oh man, this could be the one, and it never is.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
at some point, like I don't want to make this joke because like it's such an obvious and such a dumb thing. It's been overused so much, but it's like, do you know what the definition of insanity is?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And also it's just like I'm not expecting the story to be really good. Be honest. Are you like with this movie? Are you expecting like a really well thought out like detective story, which like a really interesting mystery with a lot of like that's written really well, or are you expecting like
No, it
either
has
a super
Pikachu
easy
in
to
it.
follow or
Like-
super confusing story with it's just a normal guy with a talking animal pet story that
If
just
it
happens to
wasn't
have
for the
Pokemon in it?
fact- If it wasn't for the fact that the people of Lego Movie are writing it, I would feel the same way.
Yeah.
But the
Are
fact that
they?
they're involved,
Are they?
Yeah.
I looked
Yeah.
on the IMDb, and it's being directed by Rob Letterman, who directed Shark Tale, and I will give it this: it is being directed by what's her name, Nicole something. She wrote Guardians of the Galaxy, so
Oh, nice.
that's
Oh,
at least
God.
promising.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nicole Perlman. Nicole Perlman. She's writing the movie. And she wrote Guardians of the Galaxy along with James Gunn. So she's a
Nice.
writer on this movie. So that's a good sign at least.
Yes.
But
Like, that's so interesting. Like, no one
and
no one expected this, for one.
Yeah.
Two, like, of course, video games have this reputation. Like, Warcraft is a big example of that.
Yeah.
It turned out terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Same with Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed wasn't too bad.
Yes, it
Uh,
was.
I liked some bits of it, but like, that's the thing. Video game movies don't.
Yeah, video
Don't have the
games have
best
way
rep-
more success being TV shows. Like for example, Castlevania. Like
Yeah.
but honestly, I could say like the trailer really caught me off guard. It actually got me excited for it because
it made me laugh.
yeah,
That scene with the
I
box
didn't know
and
what
Mr.
to-
and Pikachu running into it, and that was funny.
yeah, like I didn't know what to expect from it, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm actually looking forward to this movie.
Like when news broke out that this movie was actually being made, I wasn't expecting it to actually get made.
Yeah.
Or if it did, like it.
Nobody was.
No.
It would look this good.
Yeah.
But like we said, they skipped a step, so it's really, really taking like being bold.
Yeah.
Skipping like that animation step and taking something as like a side game,
Yeah.
like a spin-off game, and turning it into this like comedy, and it doesn't look too bad. It just looks awkward, but it's like script that works.
Yeah, it's
The script is what makes it work.
yeah, it's pretty ambitious what they're doing, honestly. Anyways, should we get back to the new topic?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I've said all I need to say.
Okay. So, Toy Story 4 is also has trailer released. Here's an interesting thing about the movie. There's a brand new character they're adding to it. His name apparently is Forky, and it's literally a spork with like a couple of beanie eyes and like arms attached to it.
It was a spork that was made into a toy, pretty much.
But here's an interesting thing I found out about it. Apparently the original plot was supposed to be was just this generic story about Bo Peep.
Yeah, go ahead and call it out.
I remember that. That's what caught me off guard with the trailer. And I went to the description and read the plot of the story.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I could have sworn the plan for Toy Story 4 was it was going to be a romantic comedy with Woody meeting Bo Peep again.
Yeah. Apparently, nope. Some of the scenes are actually staying, but the majority of the plot was actually rewritten.
Huh.
Because I remember when they announced Toy Story 4, I remember a big selling point from them was that the original Pixar group, the original 4 guys, were getting back together because they liked the concept so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Whoops.
But no, like, the interesting thing that one of the actors, Tim Allen, said is that this rewrite is actually way more emotional and way more like intense, and he claimed that its ending almost feels like the Infinity War of Toy Story. I have a rebuttal to that. It's Toy Story 3.
yeah. Like, Toy Story 3. Here's the thing. Like, I would have been fine if they ended it there.
Yeah.
Like, it ended on a good note.
It should have ended there.
Kids have to grow up. That's basically the whole thing about it. Kids have to grow up. New generation comes in.
Yeah.
That's a good note.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no reason for this movie to be made. That's my problem with it.
Money.
Yeah.
It's just a cash
But
grab.
honestly, with them delaying it and changing the story, I'm having a bit of hope with this. I'm having way more hope with it because if they could actually create a better story and actually make it do it justice, especially, I think it'll be worth it, honestly.
You know the new actors they got? I just found out.
What?
Key and Peele.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They
I
got
heard about
Key and
that.
Peele in this,
I heard about that.
and I find that so funny. Like,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have
Because
to. I'm gonna have to head
I
out,
love
guys.
Key and Peele.
But
Are you gonna leave
Okay.
now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's been fun.
Alright.
Alright,
Okay.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Yeah. Now it's just the original 3.
Whoop whoop.
Anyways,
Any other feelings about this movie?
Toy Story 3 was a fine place to end it, and if they want to make a Toy Story 4, I mean, even if it doesn't turn out as good as the other ones, even though we like to imagine Toy Story as like this sacred movie trilogy that like shall not be tainted by a 4th installment, it's like you can still look at the first 3 movies as their own like fully completed story.
Yeah.
And like, because like that is like if you really want to push it, even if Toy Story 4 doesn't turn out that great, you can still look at Toy Story 1 through 3 as just like the story of Woody, Buzz, and Andy. Because like this new movie is going to be taking place. Like obviously the toys belong to the new girl. I forget her name, but it's the girl from Toy Story 3 that
Bonnie.
Andy leaves them with. Yeah, Bonnie. Like it's like even if this new movie isn't as good as the other ones, it's not gonna bother me.
Yeah. Well, anyways, should we get to the next topic?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Pacific Rim. So I haven't seen that new Pacific Rim movie, but I'm really surprised about this announcement for the anime. I'm actually really surprised about it.
I heard terrible things about the.
Oh
second
yeah,
movie.
I've heard horror stories about it. That's why I put it off. But honestly, like,
Oh, it's a horror movie?
Might as well be. It's horror for your eyes.
from how people explain that it's like generic and bland.
It really is. Like, and like the animation, like it's really good in some areas, but then they just bullshit their way out of it, like through the transformations. Like,
But no, like I thought the first movie was great, honestly.
yeah, the first movie was actually pretty
I
good.
have not seen any of the Pacific Rim movies. I've
It's-
seen parts
well,
of them.
to break it down for you, it's basically American Gundam.
Yeah, basically.
That's
Yeah, I
all it
figured.
is.
I have heard that despite not having a lot of stories and being mostly a lot of story and mostly being focused on the action, the first one is actually really good. And a lot of people attribute that to Guillermo del Toro.
Oh yeah,
Mhm,
totally.
mhm. Like, this is really, like I said, American Gundam. They went this way with Pacific Rim in a weird way. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was the director for it that changed it. Like, was it the same director, the second one,
No,
as the
No,
first one?
no.
they got a new
That
director
makes them
because I think Guillermo del Toro was busy or he just didn't want to come back to a
He
second
was
one.
working on A Shape of Water.
Right. Okay.
which didn't turn out well.
No, it got an Oscar.
Well, it was just a really awkward movie to me. Like, fish sex. That's all it was. But
Oh my god, I gotta show you this picture that LEC made on Twitter. J-Chip was talking about Shape of Water. It's just fish sex, and hold on, I'll find it. You keep talking.
Okay.
So with it being an anime, I think with it being an anime, it gives it a second chance.
Yes.
To like redeem for the second movie. I mean, tons of anime do that, like Transformers and a lot of Marvel anime actually.
Yeah.
They do the stories are a bit awkward, yeah, because they're playing off, American franchises. But it's still like a redemption kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's American Gundam, so like turning into like an anime, it's gonna turn into like actual Gundam.
Yeah, it's full circle. That's what I really like about it.
It's gonna go like an Evangelion kind of way. Which I made this point a while ago that what if an American director like
Oh god.
Michael Bay
Grinding
touched
Nemo.
Evangelion? What if Michael Bay touched Gundam? Like that, like he would basically turn it into a way like Transformers.
There was some parody of that says like Michael Bay's Evangelion. And basically he turned Evangelion to like this like they turned Shinji into this very toxic male type of character.
Well, he was already toxic as like he was just a fucking depressed little boy.
Don't talk shit about my Shinji. He's my sad boy.
We can talk shit about his dad, though, right?
Oh yeah, of course we can talk about shit about his dad. Fuck him.
I don't like Shinji as a character, to be honest. But like
Shinji's like my favorite character of all time, though, because of how like relatable he is to like real life situations. As a guy with autism, like I definitely relate to him personally because like I'm put into situations where I get very emotional and stuff. Like it's something that a lot of people, especially if you're a teenager and stuff, you go through, and it's really depressing how like he develops as a character.
I didn't know you had autism.
Yeah, I do.
Dude, I have Asperger's.
Oh, you have Asperger's too?
Yeah.
Wow. We're related.
Oh yeah.
We're related.
We Aspie bros.
We're bonds.
We're Aspie bros.
We're Aspie bros.
God damn it.
No, that explains why we have shit taste in anime.
Oh god.
What is that supposed to mean?
Is that I don't know.
You guys just have shit taste in general. Like But like, I don't know. Like this anime just seems to be like unreal, to be honest.
Yeah.
It it's
It's weird.
like it's you can definitely sense that they're trying to make up for like the second movie.
Yeah.
You can definitely get that vibe from them. But like it like you said, it all comes full circle. American Gundam is turning back into Japanese Gundam,
Hmm.
and the story probably will be a lot better.
Yeah.
Like as most Gundam series turn out to be, except for Darling and Frank's playing off of Evangelion. Uh, but that's my take on Darling and the Franks. To be honest,
Yeah.
they play off of Evangelion a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
Especially.
but but this seems to be taking a really good route that I am actually having high hopes for it.
Hmm.
So, do you want to go into the next topic?
Yeah. We could talk about.
Vine 2.
Yeah. We'll just mention this. It won't be better than TikTok. Already, TikTok. I think already has a big monopoly.
But that's the thing. That
TikTok is like
used
the
to be,
best place for memes. By the way, you go on
like
just sign up for TikTok just for ironic TikToks.
like TikTok though. That thing used to be Musically
Yeah.
until the company went under, and then
Musically went under?
Yeah.
It
It
like
dissolved into TikTok.
the company that made the company that made it went under. So
I remember Musically
someone-
being huge.
Yeah, someone else took it over and turned it into TikTok.
No, actually,
Like, it
TikTok
even
just like
says-
dissolved Musically into themselves because Musically, TikTok is a Chinese company.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Like, and it's considered a social media platform,
Dap.
and that's the weirdest thing to think about it. Like, it's considered a social media thing.
Yeah.
That's so jarring. But yeah, Vine 2, known as Byte.
Yeah.
I like you said, it's not gonna really compete well with TikTok, as cancerous as it is.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not gonna be as popular as the original Vine.
Yeah.
Which Vine I wasn't a big fan of either, but still,
Yeah.
it was popular. A lot of creators that were on Vine came over to YouTube.
Yeah.
Some of them I like, some of them I want to fucking chuck a brick at.
I think I know which ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
The pause.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's what I fear most about like platforms like this. Like with TikTok, they're gonna move over to YouTube. With Byte, the same thing's gonna happen if they fail.
Yeah.
And I know they're gonna fail because they're not gonna be as big as the original Vine. They're not gonna be as big as TikTok.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go down under,
Yeah.
and then invade YouTube.
Hmm?
Or whatever is available at the time.
They'll be lucky
YouTube
if
might-
they even launch their service. Honestly,
Yeah.
they'll be really lucky.
Because people are gonna catch on to like the fact that it's not gonna be what it used to be.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have
the other
very-
stuff as Instagram either.
Yeah.
Like. Anyways,
It's just really weird.
Anyways, should we jump to the next topic?
Yeah.
So technically this should be another rant. Fucking Shrek is being remade. Let me begin to tell you how fucking pissed off that made me feel.
What do you mean, like, actually remade?
They're
like,
remaking it from the ground up. Mike Myers
like,
is not
even
returning.
just like not just like another.
I thought he said that he would want to get them back. or something. I read the article, and he was just like, I don't want to mess with those original voices. They're iconic.
Like it's not another sequel at all.
I don't think it is.
No, it's not a Shrek 5. They made that clear.
That's so weird.
I'm hoping to fuck that they don't ruin it or anything like that, because Jesus Christ, I'm pretty pissed about that. But here's an interesting thing. Technically Shrek was already remade. If you didn't know, the original Shrek was supposed to be played by Chris Farley. You know Chris Farley? He died before his recordings for Shrek actually he finished them. Had he finished them before he died, or if he didn't die, it would have been a different movie entirely.
That just would have caused more problems though if he died in like after production of like the first movie, because then they would have to recast him anyways.
Yeah. No, that's if they decide to do a sequel.
Yeah.
But no, like Donkey was still being played by Eddie Murphy. So basically they had all the lines done. They just decided to redo the plot and get Mike Myers to play Shrek instead. So technically it was already remade. But the thing is, the movie franchise is already like iconic. They can't. I don't know how to describe it, but
it's not even that old.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
There's no reason to do a remake of it, and plus people love it for the memes. If they try to fuck up with that. If they try to fuck up with that franchise and try to make something new out of it, people are gonna reject it, and I'm hoping the fuck that doesn't happen. Like, I'm hoping they just they make a sequel. They make a true sequel to the films.
Yeah, Shrek 5 was actually a rumor after, like right after Shrek 4.
Yeah,
Shrek 4,
which is called Shrek Forever After. So
yeah,
blatant false advertising.
Shrek 4 was interesting, though. Like, it was really weird, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
But, like,
I actually liked it.
Rumors about
it was a
5.
decent movie.
Yeah. Rumors about 5, though.
A step up from Shrek 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not better
Rumors
than Shrek
about...
2, but definitely a step up.
What's better than Shrek 2?
Spider-Man 2? I got you there.
Oh, God. But Shrek 5 was actually rumored when Shrek 4 came, like right after, like sometime after Shrek 4 came out.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like it was gonna be an actual sequel and stuff. Now that it's being said that it's gonna be a remake, that's so weird for them to turn that direction.
Oh yeah. Not really pleased about it, honestly. Like, honest to God, don't fuck up with my baby.
Don't fuck up with my Shrek baby.
Here's a little onion, baby.
Don't fuck up with my onion. I can't even do a Scottish accent. Fuck it.
Oh God, but I just think
it's not even being made yet. It's not even in production. He's just talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing about like series.
The head of Illumination, by the way, that's the guy they
oh God,
they interviewed in this article.
Don't get me fucking started on Illumination. Why they're so bad.
Yeah.
I don't even know why.
I don't want these minions in my Shrek movies.
In my swamp.
That's exactly my mentality. I don't want minions in my fucking Shrek. I'm sure you could put fucking minions in your Grinch, but I don't fucking care.
And your Lorax.
Lorax, I don't care about that.
And your shit. What else have they done?
Don't fuck up with my.
They fit them into every movie they make.
That's the thing. Those are movies that they make, but like they're taking over a project from DreamWorks.
Yeah,
that's just really weird to me.
But then again, they're gonna fuck up Mario, so.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do that too.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The Goombas. Look out for those Goombas. They're gonna be the minions of that movie.
Oh God.
Oh no.
I'm good.
Please
They
don't give them
fucking
ideas.
better. They better not.
Don't give them ideas, please. I don't want. I love Goombas. Don't.
Uh,
Uh, I just think it's gonna bomb.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah. Uh, let's talk about Smash.
yeah.
Smash.
Yeah. Last thing for today, we'll talk about the new Smash Brother characters.
Oh, that's what we were talking about.
Oh, we're talking about the characters.
You just
I
put
thought-
Ultimate. You just put Smash Brothers Ultimate on the list, and I didn't
Yeah.
know what we were.
Well, the new directs, basically. Talking about
yeah.
everything.
So, yeah, this coming weeks out.
I'm gonna
after
say it
the
was
direct.
disappointing. I was expecting way more for that last
Piranha
direct.
Plant looks so fun to play.
Oh yeah. Honestly, they should have saved some of the bigger reveals for this last direct instead of just shitting out like especially the Piranha Plant. Honestly, they should have just saved that for like the September direct or something instead of it being like
But-
here.
Well, here's the thing. Like, even though I just literally said Piranha Plant looks really fun to play, which he does, but it wouldn't. I don't think it would make sense, like for them to release. He's a DLC character.
Yeah.
Like, so it makes sense for him to save him for the last direct to let people know that, look, the game is finished. We're working on DLC, but it's like if they had released Piranha Plant and announced that he was a DLC character in the September direct, I think a lot of people would have been like suspicious, like the game's months away and you're already making DLC.
Yeah. Like that's the thing about like the season pass. They have like 5 other DLC characters that they have lined up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and they were
any
all
hope-
chosen from Nintendo, is what I hear, which is what they
Yeah.
did for the last bunch of DLC for Smash 4.
Well, they had the Smash ballot.
Yeah, they did.
But those were chosen by Nintendo. Which Shantae was gonna come before Bayonetta. She was another contender before Bayonetta, which I would have loved Shantae in the game.
Yeah.
To be honest, but like, I don't know. Like this Smash Direct felt very lacking.
Yeah. Honestly.
Leading up, that it doesn't create a lot of hype is the thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't create a lot of hype leading up to a few weeks from now.
Yeah. I will.
Because they already released so much.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't really have much left in terms of like big surprises, and I'm pretty sure that's why they decided to end the direct with World of Light, because that was like that they expected that to be the final ba-bam to the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that the thing with that World of Light and Spirits mode in general, that's pretty much getting rid of the story mode and remaking it.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting ish way to take it. It's just really weird. Like this whole spirit system, it was very confusing to actually keep track of. Like, I don't know how to feel about it. Like, especially since there are spirits that are actual characters in the game already, and then there are spirits that aren't even assist trophies that are spirits.
Yeah.
And that's really weird to me.
Like, I almost feels like the spirit mode was just shoehorned in, almost. Like, they didn't even make, like, original, like, designs for them. Like, original, like, sprite, models for them. But, I suppose that's okay because they're not actually in the game. But,
right.
I would prefer that to be like trophies almost. Like they handle it like
Yeah.
it.
Assist trophies would have been fine.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised they didn't add like assist trophies like Undertale sands and stuff. Which honestly I would prefer.
They got Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
That's
they had Shovel
if
Knight.
if
That's
anything,
something.
I see if they have Undertale in there, I see them as an assist trophy, not as an actual character. Because
dude, I can definitely see Sans as more of an assist trophy than an actual character because you know why? He can fuck over everyone as an assist trophy.
Yeah, totally.
He can bring out his what are those blasters? The Gastro I don't know.
Gaston, I think.
Thing. Yeah, that. And he can use those like all over the screen.
Yeah.
Like the screen will zoom out and like
or
zoom in.
No, even better. How about like they trap all the characters into the box.
Oh god.
And then they have to dodge it.
They have to dodge all his bone attacks.
That'd be cool.
I mean, it would definitely work since they have, a jump system.
Yeah.
And dodge. They can actually dodge instead of just move the cursor around. So I could definitely see him as more of a assist character than an actual character.
Yeah. But yeah, like
the spirit system
honestly,
is really weird to me.
Honestly, like had they like if they can't add like Shovel Knight to like an actual like the character, add him as a fighter, then they're not gonna add Sans as a fighter. Or Shantae.
That's the thing. Because Shantae, yeah, it's an indie game, but it's sold on Nintendo systems for years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just a little indie company that did a third-party deal with Nintendo. They sold for years on the game, on the Game Boy, on the DS, on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Like, now on the Switch.
Yeah.
So she has more of a right to be a character at this point.
Yeah.
To be honest, I love Shovel Knight, and that hurts me to say, but like, Shovel Knight is an indie game, through and through, that he just got on for how popular he is.
Yeah.
And that people wanted him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he has an amiibo. That's that's impressive on its own for an indie game.
Yeah. Especially since not a lot of assist trophies get like that get amiibos.
But what about Waluigi?
Yeah, well,
they screwed over Waluigi fucking hard.
What about Waluigi, Nintles?
They screwed him hard.
I think Piranha Plant was a big middle finger to that whole concept. Yeah. Like, I like...
Not happy about that at all.
In the technicality that Piranha Plant has been in more games than Waluigi, I could understand that. But, like, this is a minute character, a minute enemy.
Yeah.
In a big
but
game
that's such a Smash Brothers thing to do. It's like, take this character that no one would expect to be able to fight and make him a fighter.
That's what they did.
That's what they've been doing since fucking the first game with Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
That's what they did with Ridley, and their only excuse was that he was too big. So they shrank him down. And then they said the same thing about King K. Rool, and they made him a character.
Yeah. But I'm having a feeling if they add new characters, I would actually want to see Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
One character I really want to see is either Dante from Devil May Cry. That probably might not happen. Or more specifically, more likely Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes. I would actually want to see that way more. And I think there actually be way more possible.
If you want to know what characters I want in Smash Brothers, I made a whole fucking.
That thread was beautiful. Like, is beautiful because it's still going.
No, it's not.
still-
It hasn't gotten any likes, and I hope it also doesn't when this episode goes up, and that people don't search it out and like it just so that I have to.
Link that tweet just because you said that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But no, like, I'm looking to still buy the game. It's just that last direct wasn't really that great. The World of Light mode is looking really promising. I'm really excited for that.
That map is huge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm really liking the vocal version of the theme song too.
Oh,
yeah.
that is beautiful. I could listen to that for hours.
Lifelight is fucking beautiful. Like, and that's so. It feels like the same way they did the vocal version of the Fire Emblem theme, too. When Fates came out,
Yeah.
and they did the vocal version, and then they also put that in Smash too. Like, it feels like the same way. Oh, and it's such a beautiful thing that they made like a Smash theme that's actually has lyrics this time.
Yeah.
And it sounds amazing.
Honestly, yeah. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
It was such an awesome moment. Like when
Uh,
Kirby crashes down and the song starts playing and he looks up and the whole world. God, that was so cool.
That's my. Oh, okay. I want to say this before we end anything is that Kirby. I find the biggest thing that about him being the only one left that he's gonna be the savior of the world, pretty much, as their way of going with that is that he was Shigeru's one big thing. That was the character that he
Actually,
he has the most passion for.
Actually, it was Sakurai that created the character, so that has even more
Yeah.
creativity.
Like that's the thing. Kirby's like a big thing for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like that's like Kirby and Mario are the things they really put the most passion into.
And Zelda.
And Zelda, yeah. But like those big three franchises, with Kirby being one of the saviors of the world of Smash, being with it being so huge to Nintendo, that shows really good. Like that's really iconic.
Yeah.
In its own way.
I heard the absolute best like theory from people that like when everyone's just like Kirby's the only one left, and there were some people who were like saying somewhere out in the world Snake is still alive because he wasn't in the box when it got away.
He teleported out.
Oh my god. Oh, that should be amazing.
I mean, yeah, he can turn the box into a decoy, so it's entirely possible. And well, the one thing that got me was
Like it wasn't. I just love the idea that it wasn't even him. It was just a box.
one of the other things that got me was the Inklings. They're like fuck this and just got into their puddles. So the light just destroyed the ground underneath.
Wow.
So
That was awesome too.
yeah. So yeah, you can't destroy them by hitting them directly. So you have to destroy the ground they're on.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. That got me because I love the Inklings. They're just it was just so funny seeing them like just try to escape it like fuck this.
Yeah.
But dude, the part that got me the most was Sonic trying to save Pikachu.
Oh yeah.
He like holds out his hand for him.
Don't give me fucking PSD about post-traumatic stress disorder about fucking Sonic Chew.
Oh god.
Don't get me fucking started.
Nintles, why you gotta make everything weird?
What? Dude,
Autistic minds think alike.
Oh god. He was too slow though for one moment to try to save a friend.
When you say it like that, it's super depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing with World of Light is that all these characters are dead.
Captain Falcon didn't even get into his
He
car.
didn't get a chance. He was just gone. He's like, I'm gonna hop into battle. Whoa.
Now Chris Chan's crying that his two favorite characters are dead.
Oh god.
I'm making it even more depressing. I think we should end the podcast here.
Yeah.
Just people stop complaining. Like after everything that this after all the stuff that Smash has added to this game that you have seen over the course of an entire year, who gives a shit about a fucking plant?
Yeah. Like, be grateful we're getting a game anyways and not just a port. Like, they could have easily done just a port of Smash 4.
Yeah, totally.
But we got an actual original game with all the original characters and new characters.
Yeah.
So, like, you're lucky that Shigeru's even listening to you at all.
Or
I hope this is his last Smash game.
Or Masahiro Sakurai is working his ass off to make it.
Yeah, they're all.
I hope this is his last Smash game.
Everyone that's worked on this game, like, has put on way too much that the fans don't even deserve. Like, there are a lot of fans that are so ungrateful.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be mad about a plant.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think this is...
That being said, please put Crash in for DLC, please. Crash Bandicoot, he would fit perfectly.
Oh god.
Anyways, I think that is good for the podcast today. So thank you all for watching this very depressing episode of the
BrainWatching. And so chaotic too, with like two members having to dip out.
They all had to leave.
Like,
and like,
but then,
I think
but then
this
again,
is
sorry.
I think this is the podcast that we've like driven off topic the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? You actually think that?
Well,
do I have to? Yeah. Do I have to fucking bring up Chris Chan again?
Oh god.
Because I will. I will make this fucking podcast go 30 more minutes if we're gonna talk about the cringe that is Chris Chan. But I'm not. So thank you all for joining us in this podcast, and I hope you have a good day. And please watch. Please read Sanchu. I bet you will have a pretty awful day. Goodbye everybody, and have a great night.
Aussie Bros.
Yay.
You know, I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.